Okay, so you want to learn French, right? Maybe you're dreaming of a trip to Paris, or hey, maybe you just want to add a little something special to your life. Whatever your reason, I get it. Figuring out where to even begin can feel like a lot. But don't you worry, we're about to lay out a super clear, simple path that's going to get you speaking your first words like right away. Just imagine this for a second. You're walking down some cobblestone street in Lyon, you see a little bakery, and you want to order that perfect flaky croissant. See, learning a language isn't really about memorizing words from a list. It's about unlocking experiences just like that one. It's all about connection. And that's really the point, isn't it? Whether you've got a big trip on the calendar or you just want to feel a little more connected to the culture, it all boils down to one simple thing: communication. We're not talking about flawless grammar here. We're talking about just being able to join the conversation.
So let's kick things off with a really powerful idea from the experts at the Intrepid Guide. The big secret is you don't need to be fluent to make a real impact. Seriously, just learning a few key words, it shows respect, and it can completely change how you interact with people.
This right here, this just reframes the whole mission, you know? The goal isn't to sound like you were born in Paris overnight. It's about becoming, as they put it, fluent enough for travel. It's about having those real interactions, making those memories. It's a target you can actually hit.
Now, before your brain starts swimming with images of verb charts and endless flashcards, I have some really good news for you. You're not starting from zero, not even close. You actually have a foundation in French already, even if you don't realize it.
Okay, just take a look at this. On the left, you've got what are called cognates, words like nation and city that are almost identical in English and French. And then on the right, words we just straight up stole from French, like rendezvous and déjà vu. See? You've been speaking a little French your whole life.
And this little nugget of wisdom, which comes from the classic Learn French the Fast and Fun Way book, is a total game changer. It means that huge wall you thought was there, all that vocabulary, is actually way, way smaller. A lot of the time, the only real difference is how you say the word. So this brings us to a fork in the road. And there are two main ways you can go about this. Neither one is better, it just depends on what you want. So are you a traveler, someone who needs to communicate like right now? Or are you a builder, someone who wants to understand the whole system so you can build your own sentences? All right, first up, let's talk about the traveler's path. This is all about getting the job done, fast. This is for the person who is landing in Nice next week and just wants to be able to order dinner, ask for directions, and handle the basics without feeling totally lost. The Traveler's Toolkit is packed with these absolute lifesavers, phrases for very specific moments. You don't need to know how to break down a verb, you just need to know what to say when you need the check or when you're trying to find the train station. It's all about what works right here, right now. But what if you want to go a little deeper? Well, that brings us to our second path, the builder. This approach is less about memorizing phrases and way more about learning the rules of the game, the grammar, the structure, so you can build any sentence you can dream up. A builder, they start with the absolute fundamentals. For instance, in French, every single noun has a gender. It's either masculine, like un oncle for an uncle, or it's feminine, like une fille for a girl. Getting this one little rule down is like laying the first brick in your foundation. And this is where it gets really cool and really powerful. You don't learn every single form of every single verb. No way. Instead, you learn the pattern. Once you master the pattern for regular verbs that end in er, like parler, to speak, you've just unlocked the ability to use hundreds of other verbs. Je pars, tu pars, nous parlons. You see how it works? So yeah, the builder's path is definitely methodical. You learn the pieces, the nouns, the verbs, and then you learn how they all click together. It might take a little more time in the beginning, but the payoff is the freedom to say whatever you're thinking. So we've got our two paths, the traveler and the builder. But no matter which one you pick, there is one single tool that is more important than any book, any app, or any class you could ever find. And that tool is confidence. A user on the Complete France forum just absolutely nailed it with this comment. Confidence is the engine. It's what powers everything else. Without it, you could have the best learning materials in the world and they just collect dust. Which means you have to be willing to just try. And yeah, to make some mistakes along the way. In the forums, one learner said something so perfect. I would rather communicate than not.
Now compare that to this heartbreaking story about a mother-in-law who moved to France and became, get this, frogophobic. She was so terrified of making a mistake that she wouldn't even get out of the car to buy bread. Remember, the goal is connection, not a perfect accent.
And you know, the best part is, you're not alone in this. The whole community of learners says the same thing. Embrace the mistakes, just take the plunge, and don't get stressed about being perfect. This is a shared journey, and really, the key is to just start talking.
So whether you're a traveler or a builder, whether you start with a simple bonjour or by learning the verb être, that first step is always the same. You just have to decide to speak. So I'll leave you with a question to chew on. What are you going to say first?